All right, that is it. We are here. We are live. Thank you to everyone who is here. Thank you for putting up with the technical difficulties that we had from this morning. First things first. Hey, if someone would drop a comment in the comments, I see Kyle is here. Let me know how the sound is. I'm so paranoid about pressing that red button, which is the mute button. So somebody let me know if the sound sounds all right. As people are trickling in, I just want to give you just a brief rundown. So this morning we had our session this morning, and we had some technical difficulties, which happens when you go live, right? The live streaming, it comes with its issues. So as a way of saying I'm sorry for what happened, fantastic. If you will, where is the banner at? Give me 1 second. If you will just put the word Yeti in the comments. I've got this. I am so sorry for what happened this morning. Monogrammed Yeti mug to give away to, no, that's not what it says on there. It's actually got the logo on there, but I've got this Yeti mug to give away right now for anybody who wants to partake in a gift that says, I am so sorry. So just put the, oh, well, that's good. Somebody put the word Yeti in the, you know what? Oh, hang on 1 second. Nobody do anything just yet. I've got a thing I'm supposed to, all right, start collecting comments now. All right, now put the Yeti in there. If you've already put Yeti, please do it again. The StreamYard has a function that collects those, and then it has a drawing. So thank you for being here, for giving up your Saturday evening for this. Like I said, this morning was an interesting situation. So why am I here? And who am I? So a lot of you probably saw the ad on Facebook, or several of the ads on Facebook. And there was one that we were promoting Godly Family Man. And now that you're here and you're looking, well, this says Godly Trading. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. There's a Trading with Joy book in the corner. I never can quite point behind me correctly. What's that all about? We're going to get to all of that. But first and first, I am Pepper. And we here at Godly Trading are on a mission to help fathers, heads of households, fulfill a command from Proverbs 13:22 that says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. Again, drop Yeti in the comments. I'm gonna give just a second or two more. We got a few people in the chat who have not commented. If you want a chance to win I'm very, very sorry about what happened this morning, Yeti mug. That's not what it says on there, but that's how I'm putting it. Please put that in the comments. Put Yeti in the comment, and then we're gonna draw for that, and then move right along. So we're here to help you strengthen your families. We're gonna get all into all of that in just a second. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and see if this thing can successfully. I've never used this before, but it's gonna draw between, and the drawing has turned into. Are y'all seeing that flicker back and forth? Or are you not seeing it flicker back and forth? Okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Y'all are not seeing it flicker back and forth. So, give me 1 second. I should have tested this out first and foremost. I need to present particular screen, share screen, and it's this other one. Giveaway tool. Hey, gummit. Okay, well, it was there and now it's not. So stop sharing. Again, with the, oh my goodness, where did I go? Am I still on? Did I do this again? Where did my stream go? I don't even see myself. Y'all, clearly I need more practice at this, but that's what these things are for. All right. Well, you couldn't see there was like confetti and stuff. And Paul, it said Paul. So Paul, you have won the I Am So Sorry Yeti mug. I'm up. Fantastic. Paul, you won the I'm So Sorry Yeti mug. I will get this out to you. Now, having said all of that, I'm leery of doing this. So now it is time to switch to this. Put family in the comments, because the grand prize giveaway is going to happen at the end. And we'll see if this works again. But go ahead and put family in the comments. I'm going to leave this up so everyone can see it. And StreamYard is going to draw for the grand prize at the end. Did not intend for yet another train wreck to happen here at the beginning, but Y'all keep going, family, and drop that in the comments. We'll have a grand prize at the end. We're gonna have some prizes that we're drawing throughout. But back to why we're here. We here at Godly Trading are on a mission to help fathers strengthen their families. And what do I mean? Now, first and foremost, by strengthening your family, and secondly, what do we mean by family? All right, I'm clicking like mad over here. So I don't want the verse from Proverbs says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. The actual verse doesn't say man or woman; it just says good, tov. So we're not leaving. Solomon wasn't leaving the women out. He just probably didn't think of it. You know, basically, it is heads of households. Now, whether you're like me and you're a father who has 2 kids, or maybe you're a grandparent, or maybe you're a single mom, or maybe it's just you and the goldfish, right? Maybe family to you is your circle of friends, your Call of Duty gang, right? And you're the responsible one. They've all chosen you to be the responsible. We know what does it ever feel like that it's all on your shoulders? Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, if it's going to get done, I'm going to have to be the one to do it? All right. You ever been at a family reunion and it's time to eat and nobody's eating and nobody's saying it's time to eat? And you're like, okay, if we're not going to starve to death, it's on me. I'm going to have to say, guys, time to eat. As fathers, as leaders of our families, let's just put it that way. It's a better way of putting it. As leaders of our families, again, if you're just joining us, drop the word family in the chat for the giveaway at the end. I'm going to try to remember to do that from time to time. As leaders of our families, it's on us. And that is one of the reasons that we are here. We are here to support you with this godly trading as a new approach. It's both the name of our channel and it's the way that we live. Now, again, if you are here and you know nothing about trading, if you think, well, trading sounds like something that happens between NFL teams, we're going to get to all of that. Don't worry. But why specifically for me is it trading? I think that trading offers the most amazing opportunity for anyone to lift their family up and out of the situation that they are in. We're going to get that in just a second. I did mention we're going to have prize giveaways throughout this webinar. And we're going to dive into, well, not number 1 anymore. It's number 2 because we had Paul won the I'm So Sorry giveaway. So we had, I've got the list of everyone who signed up. And this was we had the 3 packages. We had the tumbler. This is one's a travel mug, one's a tumbler. I don't know the difference between a travel mug and a tumbler, except possibly the presence of a handle. The travel mug, the multi-tool, the nightstand. So we're going to give away, the 5 people get the multi-tool and my book, Trading with Joy. And we're going to go ahead and draw for those right now. I have predetermined from the randomized list and the randomized generator. And I'm just going to go ahead and announce these rather than try to show them, because last time I did that, bad things happened. So the 5 winners are Tom Matthews, Anthony Crawford, Ronnie Belcher, William Terrell, or possibly Terrell, and Lance. What did I write down? Pate. I believe it's Pate. I'm going to post all of these on the website so you can go and see, and we're going to give everybody 24 hours to find out if they won or not. But that is for the multi-tool and the book. Congratulations to y'all. Now, we are here to show you how you can strengthen your family without sacrificing your time or wasting your money, without going down the wrong road, and without falling prey to, for lack of a better term, a scam. Trading is misunderstood a lot, and people think, well, it's super secret, and we're going to get into that later on. And it's hard to do, guys. There's a fantastic documentary about this old French philosopher. His name was Gusteau. The documentary, I think, was called Ratatouille. It's misunderstood. He says anyone can cook, and by that same token, anyone can trade. And this, I think, is the easiest first step for someone to start putting their family on that path to financial security and financial freedom. We all want more for our families. You think, well, more what? Well, the 2 things I think that if you got to the end of your life, you wish you had more money along the way and more time. I am not the doctor. I don't have a TARDIS can't give you more time. But the whole point of this is to help as much as more is a slightly more spiritual idea. It all does come down to the materialistic elements of money. And I think trading is the best first step on that journey. It has such a low bar to entry. You can start trading with $0. You can start trade on demo. And that is honestly something that we encourage and kind of require, at least in the beginning. But you can, if you want to trade in real life, you can start trading with $10. You're not buying a whole Bitcoin at that point, but that's not the point. And we're here to help you strengthen your family. And you think, well, what does strengthen mean? We talked about what does family mean, but let me ask you this question. Have you ever had a situation where you know that your whole family is under one roof, right? It's that time of day, they're all home from school or whatever it is. And, you've checked them in as they came through the door. A good friend of mine, our old preacher up in the north part of the state, he's got 12 kids. So I can only imagine when they get home from a trip, there's like a checklist like they had with Home Alone, check. Oh, we forgot Macaulay Culkin, right? You know that all of your family is under one roof. You have no idea where they all are. Or even worse, your whole family's in one room. You can reach out and touch them all. But everybody's on their own phone, reading a book. Everybody's doing their own thing. It seems like we've never been more connected, while at the same time, never been more disconnected. So imagine strengthening your family like this. You come home tomorrow and you say, all right, guys, we're going on a trip around the world. Y'all go pack. And then you think, well, Pepper, that's ridiculous. We'd have to quit my job. My wife quit her job and pull the kids out of school. We're just never going to. Imagine if you could be there. Imagine the family bonds that you could create, that you could strengthen, you could maybe heal in that process. Imagine the memories those kids would carry with them for the rest of their lives. We talk about, my parents always talked about doing a thing to make memories. we had 4-H cows, dairy cows, when my boys were young. They're in their young 20s now. And we milked a cow every day. And one day it snowed. North Mississippi, it snows like this much, right? So I sent them out to the milking parlor, which was all of 20 feet away, barefoot, to go milk that cow when they were 6, 7, 8. They're like, why are we going out to the milking parlor barefoot? And I said, because one day you'll be a grandfather. You'll thank me later. I had to milk the cow barefoot in the snow. It's those moments, those memories that we wish we could strengthen our families with. And I can't give you memories, I can't give you time, but I can show you a way that you could generate some extra income that would free up some time. Imagine if you could generate enough income on the side that your spouse could quit their job and then they're staying home with the kids. There's so many opportunities. So by the end of this training, I want to show you how you're going to apply these 3 pillars of faith and mastery and purpose, not just to trading. We're going to use trading almost as the vehicle to practice. We're going to absolutely apply it to trading, and it's going to change your life in that. But then imagine if you could apply it to your job that you're currently in, or maybe a business you're trying to develop, or something like that. Imagine if you could apply these to that. It's a framework that will allow you to go off into real estate. And yes, we're going to get to those eventually, and a side business. This is a long journey, and we're at the beginning of that because I think that trading is the most logical first step in that. We're going to lay this foundation on these 3. Now, just to touch on this, because some of you might say, well, faith, and I hear he says godly trading, and he mentioned Proverbs. Do you have to be a Christian to be a part of this, to be in the room, to participate? No, absolutely not. There's not a single thing we're going to show you that's going to run afoul of any religion that you may particularly have. Even if you're a follower of the Klingon religion, and if somebody knows the name of it, I have searched high and low. I don't know the name of it. There's nothing that we're going to show you today that's going to conflict with that. But in the context here, I'm going to get to it in a minute. When we say faith, we're talking about belief, faith in something. So who is this for? Well, I think this webinar will benefit fathers, first and foremost, and again, heads of households, people who have responsibility for whatever they consider their family. Maybe you're a household of one. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you have a part-time job. Maybe you have lots of money. Maybe you have very little money. Maybe you have no money. Maybe you have negative money. Guys, I went 6 months unemployed back in 2018. Negative money exists. This is for anyone who wants more for their family. And maybe you're not even 100% sure what that more means. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I collect all of the families, and I just realized that I didn't set the thing up to do that. Give me one quick second so that I do that. And now we're going to do, everybody who types in family is going to be entered into start collecting comments. And it says I've got 2. All right, good. I didn't mean to break the flow there. Who is this not for? Well, this is not for someone who's looking for a get rich quick scheme. You know, we've all heard that. We've all heard that phrase, get rich quick scheme. Myron Golden says it this way. We were all warned about the get rich quick scheme. Nobody ever warned us about the stay broke slowly scheme, the stay broke for the rest of your life scheme. Well, why did nobody warn us about that? The work for somebody else for 40 years and then retire with a broken body scheme. But this isn't for people who are saying, I want to, you know, make $1 million by next week. Good luck. We'll pray for you. This isn't for people who aren't willing to work, who aren't willing to learn. For people who don't believe in themselves. And I don't mean doubts, because we all have doubts. Doubt and discouragement just comes as part of being a father, being a human being walking the earth. It's not that. I said don't have courage. I don't mean that this is risky. What I mean is don't have the courage to step out and accept the fact that if nothing changes, nothing will change. I know that sounds kind of repetitive and logical and illogical, or maybe a little too simple. But unless you're willing to step out and say it's time for something to change, I don't think this is going to benefit you at all. Remember, at the end, we're going to have the grand prize giveaway. I'm going to give everyone access to these slides and replay of this, and another gift for everybody when they get there. This is our last prize giveaway before the grand finale. This one is for the other package, which has the book and the multi-tool and the tumbler. This tumbler says something to, you know, Dad's best something or other. I don't remember. You saw the ad. You probably remember what it looks like. I pre-drew these, and boy, am I glad I did, because guys, I've got a technical support person, my IT person. He's about 21-year-old, and I don't know where he is right now. He's in New Orleans. He was supposed to be here, but he's not. So I have it all written down old school on a piece of paper. So the winners for that package, the book, the multi-tool, and the other tumbler, the dad tumbler, those winners are Jacob Stout, Travis Bruce, and Jeff Rivers. So again, I'm going to post all of these on the website. You'll be able to go and see who won and see if you won. I've got everybody's email, so I'm going to send you out emails as well. We'll be able to get in contact with everybody. So congratulations to those 8 people who have won so far. So, big statement here. Trading changed my life in so many different ways. And now you say, well, okay, that's big. What do you mean by that? Well, I am just a regular guy. I've got, it's almost like a country song, right? I got a wife, kids, dogs, living in the woods. That's me. And, you know, I just turned 50. That really hurts to say. I just turned 50 a couple of weeks ago. And have you ever had this happen to you? You wake up on the day of your birthday, and realistically speaking, you're only about 6 or 7 or 8 hours older than when you went to sleep. But you swear that pain wasn't there yesterday? Has that ever happened to anybody? It's like, oh, hang on. Okay, I got to put on the glasses. I can probably post these up there. So I'll be listening and can't comment. Okay, well, the only comments you need to put in have happened already, so you're good on that. Has it ever happened to anybody that is, all right, I know that I'm not older, and I know my body doesn't know it's my birthday, but man, I sure feel like my body knows it's my birthday, because anyway, regular guy, sort of floating through life. And what do I mean by that? Well, sort of getting by, lost in the hustle and bustle of wake up, go to work, get the kids, do the thing, come home, go to bed, do it again. Getting by, sometimes maybe a little better than getting by. Unemployed for 6 months, so very, very much not getting by. Although when I look back on it, I have no idea how I have no idea how we got through that, except for the fact that God got us through it. Or we didn't miss a meal, didn't miss a house payment. Don't know how it happened. But for the grace of God, we got through that. But just sort of floating through life, wanting more, wanting this ephemeral more, not knowing how to do it. Well, then what happened? Well, my dad died. I don't know. You're thinking, way to bring the room down, Pepper. Yeah, I know. So my dad was my biggest cheerleader when it came to any idea that I had that I wanted to pursue. And I don't know if anybody here has kids who have done this, or maybe you yourself did this. When I was in elementary school, we participated in the stock market game. I think we were in 6th grade. I got a buddy of mine in Dallas who's a school teacher. His doing the 4th grade. But regardless, does anybody know what the stock market game is for elementary school? Drop me a yes in the chat to make me feel like I'm not quite that old. But I learned the stock market game and sort of caught the bug of trading and investing young. Well, my dad would watch Wall Street Week with Louis Rukeyser on PBS on Friday nights with me. He bought me a stock investing newsletter for my 12th birthday. So you can tell, number one, how long I've been doing this, but he was just all in on whatever I wanted to do. Now, it's a little bit unfortunate because part of my personality is to find something shiny and run after it. Actually, they made a movie about me. Did you see that movie Up, right? That dog, that was total copyright ripoff of me, right? That I don't know why they didn't name it Pepper, but that dog, squirrel, that was me. My dad was right there with me. Here's what, oh, you want to do this thing. Well, let's go find a book. Let's start a business. Let's do this. So anyway, my dad dies in 2015, and his offspring, we sort of share in this small life insurance policy. So it wasn't a lot of money. It's a lot of money to me. It was like $10,000 or $20,000. As a government employee at the time, it was the most money I'd ever had in my account at one time. So I thought, well, what would he want me to do with this? Obviously, he would want me to take care of my family. His grandkids, and he always called it my lovely bride, my wife. He loved my wife. So, well, he would probably want me to pursue this passion that he had helped foster. So let me take some of this money, some, not all, and try my hand at trading. And of course, like all of us, when you hear trading, your first thought is day trading. I don't know why that is, but it is. So let me try day trading. And so I'll learn a little bit. I literally get day trading for dummies. And I learn a little bit, and I just run off. And you can imagine the results there. Number one, when you're just starting out, you don't realize that the number one killer of traders is everything that goes all up in here. Your emotions are what kill you. That's for normal people. This money that came to me, I saw as a representation of my father's life. So every time I had a loss, not only is there the normal self-recrimination and guilt and whatnot, but now it's like, well, I'm killing him all over again because I just lost $10 of the money that represented his life insurance. You see what I'm going here? I mean, it's like just day after day of shooting from the hip and being terrible, not knowing what I'm doing, and just this barrage of emotions. So one day I'm driving to work, and I am just in a cloud of gloom and doom. Okay, let me ask you this question. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody in your head? Like, so you're going to meet them, or you want to call them or whatever. So you're planning on what you're going to say, and then you think, okay, what they would say and what you would say back, and you go round and round, and you just have you map out this whole conversation in your head, and you get mad at them. They're not even there, right? And at the end of it, you walk into that thing and you're already pre-mad. Has that ever happened to you? Please tell me somebody else this happens to them and not just me. Well, anyway, somebody make me feel better by saying that's me too in the chat. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you, Paul. So I'm driving to work. I'm a day trader, which means I don't actually have any trades that have happened yet for the day. And I'm already pre-miserable. I'm already pre-discouraged, pre-depressed. Just insert negative comment here, pre-whatever that is. And I'm just driving to work, and I'm just miserable. And, this money my dad gave me to take care of my family. What am I doing? And I hear this voice from God. It sounded like it came from the back seat of my very small car. Now, if you are not a believer, okay, it wasn't an audible voice. It didn't come through my ears. If you are a believer, you know what I'm talking about. You just know it when God is speaking to you. You can always tell the difference between that voice in your head that's telling you to do something you shouldn't do. Do it, right? You know the difference between that and when God is speaking to you. And so here I am. I'm miserable. I'm driving to work, and I know God say, aren't you tired of feeling this way? I said, oh, yes. And I almost cried and ran off the road. Yes, I am so tired of feeling this way. I just got this weight on me and this money that I'm supposed to be taking care of my family. I'm doing it all for my family. And the guy goes, oh, let me stop you right there. You are doing this for you. I'm like, oh, my first instinct was to argue with him. Instead to say, no. As if you can argue with God who can see into your soul, right? But I knew what he meant. Just, absolutely. I had become the center of my own world when it came to trading. And guys, gravity doesn't work like that, right? You can't be the center of your own world. But I had made everything about me. Look at me. I'm a trader. Look at me. Look at this trade I just did. Please don't look at those 30 trades I did. Look at this one trade. Just me. And so going to work, it was a 20-minute ride that seemed like it took 30 days. But I get there and I spend the next couple of days just understanding what I was going through. And it's time to change. If I keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, I'm insane. So what came out of all of this was a journey of, it's time for me to get serious about my education. It's time for me to get serious about being serious about this. It's time for me to put God first and my family second and myself way on down the list. And so through that, I developed these three pillars of here's what the rest of my trading life should be built on. And even after that, it's a framework that I could do anything. I could build a business off of this. I could go into real estate, whatever it is, be a better father. The three core concepts of faith, mastery, and purpose. That faith was, and again, faith here, double context, both my personal faith and faith in what I'm doing. That is the road that I'm standing on. Those are the stones beneath my feet. It's what this whole journey is built on. Right? I talk about it in the book, and let's see if we can. Let's just focus on So the analogy that I use in the book is one of a journey. So same thing here. That faith is the road that you walk on, and that mastery, taking that skill and applying discipline to it. Mastering, that's your road map. That tells you when to turn left, when to turn right, when to keep going, when to watch out for things. Most importantly, your purpose. It's what I had lost, what I had forgotten. Your purpose is both your destination, that flag that you plant in the distance that says, that's where I'm going. I'm taking my family on that trip around the world. That's both the destination and it's the fuel that keeps you going, that keeps you putting one foot in front of the other. So if you can, not if, Kyle, you're driving, but if you can, take out a pen and paper and write these four things down. Number one, it is necessary. Number two, it will work. Number three, you can do it. And number four, you are not alone. If I could jump in the TARDIS, by the way, if anybody doesn't know what a TARDIS is, I can explain that. If I could jump in my time machine and go back to myself 5 years ago and just say, write these four things down, that guy would probably break down crying. I don't cry easily. I'm not crying, you're crying. Number one, it is necessary. The time is now to strengthen your family. I had every intention. Hey, yes, it is, Doctor Who. I had every intention of giving my children a better start in life than I had. All right, they're 21 and 23 right now, and one of them's off, and one of them is not yet off. But I wish I could have told myself 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it is necessary. Now is the time to start that path to setting your family up for the future that you want for them. Don't send your kids out into the world totally unprepared. Again, I mentioned we are more disconnected now than ever. And strengthening your family, having the faith that's necessary now to create that connectedness is, everything starts here, right? You have to say, I'm done being the same. From now on, it's going to be different. It's necessary. And number two, it will work. One of the biggest issues with trading is people think it's a scam. Jeff Foxworthy has a great joke that says that rednecks, like me, I'm a proud redneck, we are not stupid as a general rule or as a group. We just can't keep the most ignorant amongst us off of TV. By the same token, traders and people who teach trading are not scammers. We just can't keep the most dishonest amongst us off of social media. And it's hard to compete it's hard to say. Trading is absolutely a worthwhile endeavor when you've got movies like The Wolf of Wall Street and Wall Street just hammering out that traders are just drunken buffoons who rip people off. This idea, sort of a new way of trading, it absolutely will work. Remember, I said Gusteau, the famous French philosopher, anyone can cook. Think about Gordon Ramsay, right? He is a multimillionaire right now. I don't know how much he actually makes, but let's just say multimillionaire. At some point in his life, he'd never cooked anything. I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. Trading is not a scam. Trading is not a secret. Trading isn't some super government level encryption algorithm that only the 1% can have access to. Trading is a skill, like cooking, like juggling. Now, I'm about to embarrass myself and possibly all of you. I learned how to juggle. I say learned. I attempted to learn how to juggle when I was 15. Juggling is just dropping things on your keyboard. All right. What happened to my... Is everybody still there? Because I don't know. I did say I was going to embarrass myself. All right. I lost my presentation. Let's see if I can get it back. Give me 1 second. Slideshow, presenter review, put this over here. And we were on that. All right. Am I still there? Somebody tell we still got you. All right. Let me back up and try that again. Juggling is just simply when the ball goes up to here, you do a thing. Juggling is a skill. And that is the last time I'm going to juggle in front of my keyboard. Trading is a skill. The ball goes up, and when it does this, you throw the next one. And when that drops down, you do the next one. Trading is just when price does a thing, you do this. And when that happens, you do that. It's a skill. Anybody can learn it. Anyone can cook. Anyone can juggle. Anyone can trade. Because you can do this, guys. I love to tell the example. If you haven't read his autobiography, go read Drew Brees' autobiography. He is the best quarterback to ever play in the NFL. Hands down. We'll accept no argument on that. But he did not start off in life as someone who thought that, who you looked at and said, hey, this guy's going to be an all-pro quarterback, NFL Hall of Famer. Was only 6 foot nothing, I think, when he was finally topped out. Wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest. But what he had was the belief that he could do it. He had the belief that said, one day I'm going to be an NFL Hall of Famer. Nailing this down, having the faith that, yes, absolutely, not only is it necessary, not only will it work, but I can do it. And guys, you can do this because you are not alone. Right? If you don't get anything else from this, we've got a free Facebook group that you can join. And there are others here, others who will help you in this process. Paul talks about, when he talks to Timothy, he says that each of us needs those 3 relationships. The one ahead of us, the person who's further down the journey than us, who can point out the pitfalls, who can impart their wisdom. We need the guy that's walking this journey with us. I've got a guy that's my trading accountability partner, and I meet with him twice a day, every morning and every afternoon. We're doing this together. And then the person behind you, and you think, well, how can I teach somebody? I don't know anything. There's always somebody who knows less than you. Having faith in these, that it is necessary and it will work. If all this webinar did for you was help you nail these things down in whatever endeavor, yes, trading, I think, is the best way to start the journey of strengthening your family. But you could take this and apply it to being a family. Apply it to starting a business. If all we did was that, I think it would be 36 minutes, well worth it. But above that, we've got the next pillar, which is the mastery pillar. Right? Knowledge, skill, patience, and discipline. Bruce Lee, reasonably sure said, it was Bruce Lee that said this, that I don't fear the man who knows 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who knows one kick and has practiced it 10,000 times. It all starts with knowledge. And unfortunately, having a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Knowledge is a lifelong journey. And you really do need it to amass sort of this like critical mass of knowledge before you step out. a lot of social media really only focuses, especially in the realm of trading, on these first two, knowledge and skill. And really more than knowledge, right? The last two that really separate people with mastery and without. Patience and discipline. Yes, knowledge is so critical because not only do you need to learn certain things, but you need to unlearn certain things. When we first start out, we don't know what we don't know. And in some ways, that's the hardest part. Is saying, "Hey, I thought it was something else. The things that I know seem to be completely opposite of this." And then skill. I have in my notes, juggle again. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, juggling is just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. Guys, that is mastery boiled down. And then patience. Now, it's interesting that in the original Greek, the word that Paul wrote here from the fruit of the Spirit, which is what the book is based on, talks about patience. And the word that Paul used for patience, King James had his minions translate as long suffering. Now, if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, you get that. You know all about long suffering. But learning the skill of patience, learning to develop patience is critical because, guys, patience sucks. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it just absolutely does. Having to have the need for patience, having to be put in situations where it's either display patience or commit a felony. You're right. It is so critical to develop it. If all we did was help you develop patience, I think our task would be worthwhile. And then discipline. In baseball, the guys, the best hitters in the world, the ones who stand there and they wait for their pitch. And that one goes by. Nope, that one goes by. And then they finally swing at their pitch. And they strike out 7 out of 10 times and go into the Hall of Fame with a 300 average. Mastering discipline leads to mastery of whatever you're doing. Again, Gordon Ramsay, Drew Brees. Drew Brees had this, he told this story, and it's hard to believe. He would go out before it was on the field without anybody else. So I don't know if without anybody else being there. I don't know if this was every day in practice or every game day. Go out to by himself for an hour and a half, and he'd play a game in his head. He would stand there and imagine he'd take the ball. All right, I got a linebacker coming this way, so I'm going to throw a hot read over there. He would play an entire game in his head before he ever played a game, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting that same result, applying discipline repeatedly until he mastered his craft. This is so important. And in the realm of social media, very little is given to discipline and patience. But those are the ones. The only tool you had in your toolbox was patience and possibly patience. If you thought you had was patience, you could still light the world on fire in the world of trading. And then lastly, the last column that we're building this on, purpose. Family, fulfillment, service, and freedom. These are what keep you going. Obviously, first and foremost, family. However you define family and whatever the situation is, however you manage to get here, you know what it's like to shoulder the burden for everyone else. You're the one that's killing the spiders. You're the one getting up in the middle of the night for the glass of water. It's on you. And what's interesting, we will do anything for our family, and they keep us going. So having this purpose and applying it to your trading, that's what says, okay, I've had 10 losses in a row. I really want to cry, and I really want to give up, but I'm not going to because I have established my purpose, and my family is worth this. And what's interesting is you're going to find almost as a side effect, as a wonderful side effect, fulfillment. It's interesting that we as, and I'm going to keep using fathers and heads of households and people responsible for a family, all of that synonymously. If you're a single mom in the group here, just know that when I say fathers, I'm including you in that description. For whatever reason, we as fathers, we accept misery as part of the job, it seems. It's like, okay, yeah, I might hate my job and I might be tired all the time, but that's the price you pay for being a dad. My father-in-law spent 40 years at a job he hated to put food on the table. Has anybody here ever driven to a job that you hated? Has anybody here ever had a job that sucked the life out of you so much that it felt like every passing mile that you got closer to your office, a little piece of you died? Has anybody ever had a job like that? I know I have. I worked for a county government for about 15 years. And my kids, even when they were 5, 6, 7, they're like, I think Daddy's depressed. I'm like, did Sesame Street teach you how do you know what depressed is? But imagine doing all of this and feeling fulfilled, that it just overflowed. Imagine coming home after a day of trading and you know that you have done it the right way. You have kept everything in perspective and you have done it absolutely the right way, and you just feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Imagine, don't you want that type of fulfillment in what you're doing? I mean, we would all love to have that in our day-to-day job. But sometimes that day-to-day job is more tolerable if you have that fulfillment elsewhere, that you know that what you're doing not only makes you feel purposeful, but that it's helping your ultimate purpose, moving that needle forward. I'm going to put this up here, and a lot of you are going to go, whoa, now. Nope, can't. I mean, I'm busy, right? I got a family. I got a job. I have no time for service. I get it. And I'm going to say it, and you're not going to believe it, and I'm not going to believe it when I 5 years ago wouldn't have believed it. We serve ourselves by serving others. I'm not wearing it right now, but my shirt, the logo is up there on the screen. Serving God, serving traders. We serve God. I serve God by serving traders. It's in service to others that we find service to ourselves, that we find that fulfillment. And that goes into part of our purpose. My favorite story, and I love to tell it. And if you've heard it before, you're going to hear it every time I speak. Guy's walking down the street, and he falls into a hole, big pit. And he can't get out. People are walking by on the street, and no one's paying him any attention. They're ignoring his cries for help. Until finally he sees this priest walk by. He's like, Father, whoa, Father, I'm down in this hole. You see? Can you help me out? And the priest looks down in the hole, and he writes him out a prayer and throws it down in there. Bless you, my son. Keeps on walking. I was like, okay. Anyway, people keep walking by. Finally, he sees his doctor walk by. And his doctor looks at him and says, hey, doc, it's me. Your patient, I'm in this hole. Can you help me get out? Doctor looks down and writes him out a prescription, throws it down in the hole, and says, the bill is in the mail. Keeps on walking. And this guy's down there, he's blessed and he's medicated. And he just wants to give up and curl up into a ball and die at the bottom of this hole. One last time he looks up out of desperation. He sees his buddy Bob walk by. Bob, hey, Bob, please help me out. I'm at my wit's end. Can you please help me out of this hole? Next thing you know, Bob jumps down into the hole. The guy's like, what are you doing, you idiot? Now we're both stuck in this hole. And Bob says, yeah, but I've been in there before. I know the way out. Service is when we get out of that hole, or someone has pulled us out of the hole, and now it's our turn to turn around and get other people out of the hole that they're in. Or better yet, say, hey, there's a hole in front of you. Maybe we go around it. When you put all those together, you find freedom. And while a slightly esoteric idea, in this arena, it does boil down to financial freedom. You start off just wanting some financial stability. I just want to get to the end of the month before I get to the end of the money. And then you sort of hit that milestone and say, okay, well, the next one is financial security. Now, okay, we've got enough so that we don't have to worry about the end of this month or the end of next month. And then lastly, you get to that financial freedom. That point where you can actually go to your family and say, hey, guys, we're going on a trip around the world. Go pack. And your kids are like, all right. That's where I want everybody to get to. Financial freedom, especially in this world. Purpose is that hill that you plant, that you're aiming for every day. It gets you out of bed. It keeps you putting one foot in front of the other that says, I am going to get there. I can do it. It's worth it. I have mastered these skills. I have developed my patience, and I'm going to get there because my family is worth it. Serving others is worth it. As if all this did was show you this framework that says just take these and apply them to trading, yes. Apply them to being a parent. being a husband, to being an employee at the business that you're in, business you might own. I'm not going to cry. I wish I could jump in that TARDIS and go back 49 years. Well, I didn't know English at 1 year old. Let's call it 45 years and tell my 5-year-old self, hey, 5-year-old me, here's a roadmap for being a better son. Here's a roadmap for being a better brother. If all we did was, I think you could take this and apply this to everything for the rest of your life. And yes, if you could apply this to your trading, would it make a difference in your trading? Some of you might not know anything about trading. So I'm going to answer the question for you. Yes, it would. Would it strengthen your family? Would it strengthen your job? This framework, it's amazing and it's interchangeable, and you can do it. You can apply this to anything. Now, I know that this is a lot, guys. It's been quite the journey. I made it through without crying. I did not destroy anything with my, let's call it juggling. There's only so much I can fit into an hour. But if you've got 10 more minutes, I would love to show you something that I've got for you, because if you got to go, you got to go. And that's fantastic. And I hope you can take this with you. And if you say, you know what, I learned what I needed to learn, and I'm going to use this. But if you are watching this, or if you're watching this on the replay, and you think this sounds fantastic, what do I do? What next? Just, is it okay if I spend 10 more minutes? Just let me know if I can spend 10 more minutes on this to show you something I put together that'll help you move forward. You know, there's an interesting story. I would love this story from the Bible. Moses has been given the dimensions and the instructions from God to build the tabernacle. You know, we've got you know, the Ark of the Covenant, and we've got boards, and we've got tapestries, and all of these things. And here God gave him the people to build these things. So there's Moses standing in front of this giant pile, this giant Lego set of tabernacle parts. And Moses is like, great, now what? God said, don't worry. I know you're a little bit overwhelmed. Can't see the forest for the trees. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take that piece and let that guy do this. You're going to take that piece, let that guy do this, and then this, and do this, and do this, do it in this order, this order. And that's what we have spent some time putting together. So if it's all right with you guys, I'm going to show you what we have for you. We're calling this Godly Trading Pro. Let me change so you can see that better. Here's what you're going to get with this. Oh, let me get rid of this banner because that's covering it up. Banners, and turn that off. If you're here and you have not yet put family into the chat, do that. We're going to spend 4 weeks nailing down the path to faith. We can't give you faith, but we can absolutely help you develop what it takes to have faith, to have belief in the fact that this is necessary, that now is the time. Time is slipping away. If this takes you 5 years, those 5 years are going to pass anyway. Wouldn't you be better off to be at the end of those 5 years with this? We're going to show you that it absolutely will work, that you can believe, that you can develop the faith that this will work, because you can do this. We're going to come alongside you and say, hey, all of this is because you're not in this alone. We are here for you. We're going to spend 4 weeks just nailing this down. 4 weeks just saying, guys, this is so important. This is the foundation. This is the bedrock. Everything else is built on this. Total value there. Spoiler alert, this is not the price. This is the value. I mean, it's almost, what is faith worth? Valuable, priceless. In addition to that, not only are we going to give you that foundation of faith in what you're doing, we're going to spend 4 weeks with a skills mastery workshop. Right? We're going to show you, number one, we're going to find out where you are in what you're doing. We're going to find out how much you know, how much you don't know. We're going to come up with a plan and help you develop the skills to trade. We're going to, what to trade, where to trade, when to trade, how to fit trading into your family life, how to do it the right way. We got workbooks and handouts. Yes, you're going to have homework with this. We're obviously going to be coming alongside you, making sure that you are there. And you might be saying to yourself, "What? This is trading, right? Why don't we just jump into trading, charts and whatnot?" Because you have to do this the right way. I have been there. I have taken courses. I have paid for courses. I have learned the, for lack of a better term, I have learned the clickety-clickities first, foremost, and only. And that road led me into being the bottom of a pit. You have to develop the mindset first. You have to lay a foundation, or else the house will crumble. Next, we're going to spend 4 weeks in our purpose-driven accountability program. 4 weeks of group, I'm going to say group therapy. It does kind of feel like that sometimes. This group sessions with follow-up. First things first, we're going to have a one-on-one call. You're going to sit down with me. We're going to find out where you are. Find out what success looks like to you. Because we got to find where success lives so that we know what it looks like and when we get there. All of this is built on that initial foundation. We're going to have, again, homework, workbooks, handouts to support this learning. Total value here. Yeah, I know you're looking and saying, well, $4,200. Good grief. Again, if I jumped in the TARDIS and went back to 5 years to myself and I said, hey, Pepper, if I could give you a course for $4,200, that you could build a framework and use this for the rest of your life, would it be worth that? I would probably say, I don't have $4,200. Well, let's look at your credit card bill. Oh, look at that. Taco Bell, and a big screen TV, and just so much stuff that we spend money on that doesn't move the needle in our family's direction. Would it be worth $4,200 to set ourselves up for financial freedom, not just for our family? Remember Proverbs, our children's children. What is generational wealth worth? The ability to set that up. And then lastly, ongoing support. My face is in the way. Give me 1 second. Let me get rid of my face out of the way. Ongoing support, weekly check-ins, so that we're not just giving you the instructions and shooing you out the door and saying, hey, good luck, guy. I hope it works out for you. We're there with you day after day, walking this journey with you, saying, did you do your homework? Did you do your trading journal? How has it been this week? How has your trading affected your family life? What is all of that work? I've got the price here, $5,400 for that. Even then, that price, I believe, is worth the value. That value there is worth the price of what you get. But for those who are here in this group, you are our first group here. I've got something extra. Our fast action bonus, we're calling it. This is a program for how to develop a trading algorithm. Now, if you don't know what a trading algorithm is, we're going to show you. We've got a 24-hour window. Well, yeah, 24-hour window for signing up for this. This is a course that we will teach you at the, yes, ministry, quote here, when the time is right, at the appropriate juncture, not in the beginning, but when you are ready, how to go from an idea. I wonder if that would work. All the way through getting something coded, all the way through the end of testing it and setting it out and letting it run on cruise control. I mean, I was going to say this thing is worth its weight in gold, but technically speaking, an algorithm has no weight. This whole package here, worth well over $7,000. That's not the price. That's going to be the price eventually. For you guys who are the first group, sorry about that. It's about roughly 10% of that, $777 a year. Go to godlytrading.com/pro. If you go all in, you get about a 20% discount over the monthly price, $97 a year. Again, this is not going to stay there. All right. In 24 hours, the fast action bonus goes away. But next month, guys, this price is going up to $19.97. It's a good year. 97 is a weird year. We're going to do these webinars, these introductory webinars once a month. And every time we do them, the price is going to have to go up. Well, why is that? Well, there are only so many hours in the day. There's only so many people that you can put into a Zoom room. Right? I had two choices when I was putting this together. I could go the Walmart route, right? $15 a month, and everybody come one, come all. we're not going to be able to have that one-on-one with everybody. If we had 500 people, you can't have 500 people in a Zoom room. I can't meet one-on-one calls with 500 people. So the only way to do this was to have it at a slightly higher price and to say, with this, you get a foundation, you get a program that is built from the ground up the appropriate way. You get a focus, an entire month's focus on learning and developing the skills you need, but most importantly, how to apply patience and discipline to those skills. And then you get the group around you. Now, these sessions are interesting because you think, well, I'm in there to learn from Pepper. No, I'm there to answer questions and facilitate, but you're going to learn the most from the people around you. The guy that's sitting next to you, or sitting, it's all digital, the guy in the box next to you on Zoom, who says, well, this thing happened to me last week. You're like, that happened to me yesterday. And then somebody else is like, well, I went through that last month and here's how I handled it. It's just so much information that is shared, so much. These mastermind sessions, these group calls, that is where the true wisdom comes out. So you get all of this all-in price of $777. It's a discount over the monthly price there. You go to godlytrading.com/pro. We got a sign-up page there. We also are going to have the winners listed there. If anybody have any questions before I go any further? I have a few that I think that people might be interested in. While I'm waiting for people to type in questions. So one of the questions that I get is, this kind of sounds like every other course that I've heard of. And look, I get that. How is this different? Well, right there in the name, we are different because we are doing things from a biblical perspective, godly trading. And I know you may say, well, I'm a follower of the Klingon religion. I don't believe the Bible. Okay. Here's a book I wrote. And the Bible talks about love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Tell me which of those conflicts with your religion. Now, sure, maybe if you're a Klingon, the peace bit. But apart from that, all right, I believe firmly that the Bible is the roadmap for our lives. People say it's a book of religion. Well, it's got religion in it, but it's honestly, it's God's instruction manual day to day, how we treat Him and how we treat others. That's all it is. And how we treat others is all that we're doing here. So we are different, if for no other reason for that. But the other main difference is the community that we have, that we're not going to let you drown. We're there standing at the edge of that pit. Number one, warning you about it. But when you fall in, we're pulling you out. Having that group of people around there to reinforce you are not alone is so valuable. Another question I get a lot: do I need a lot of money? No. You can have a little bit of money. You can have a lot of money. Sure. You can have no money. Guys, I still traded when I had no job. Traded on demo. Well, what good did that do? Remember the story of Drew Brees playing the game in his head? You practice, you develop those skills. That's what you're after, is mastery. Plus, there are so many ways these days of finding other means of trading capital that's not your own. There are companies out there that will give you some of their money to trade if you just prove to them that you know how to do it. All right, I'm trying these out for you, seeing which ones are the right ones. I have found a good one, as a matter of fact. Currently, I've got $90,000 of somebody else's money they gave me. Here you go, trade with this. Thanks. So, no, you don't need a lot or any of money to trade with this. Another question I get, and this is probably the second most common question I hear about trading. Isn't trading just gambling? It's interesting. What is gambling? Sure, we think gambling, I walk up to a machine, I put a dollar in it, I pull a lever, cherries go flying, and suddenly it's all lemons. Yes. Or a wheel goes spin around with a ball on it. That's gambling. But isn't gambling also buying a car without doing your research? Isn't gambling spending $150,000 on a college degree without knowing if that college degree is going to pay that money back? Heavens above. That's gambling. Gambling is simply spending money either recklessly or thoughtlessly This is not that. Godly trading has a focus primarily, first and foremost, on money management and risk management. These are the resources God gave us. We treat them with the respect that we treat him with. Another question, last question, and we'll move on. What if I get into this? You know, we have our one-on-one call, or I'm on that first class. Classes start next week, by the way, guys. Sign up now. Classes start next Sunday night. What if I get into that class and I realize I think I made a mistake. This isn't for me. I'm not ready for this yet. You know, I know I'm in the bottom of this pit, but kind of like it here. I painted the walls, got a nice carpet. Can I get my money back? Yes, absolutely. We're not going to hold anybody hostage. If you say I'm not ready, if you say this is not for me, that I'm just comfortable where I am, not ready to step out, absolutely you can get your money back. You know, we want you to try first. But you know, if you're halfway through the first session and say, I'm just not ready, I'm comfortable where I am, absolutely you can get your money back. Now, 6 months into it, it's a different story. Primarily because you're going to have people around you like, you're not quitting. We're going to grab you and pull you. You know, if we have to drag you across the finish line, we will. You're going to have that community around you for that. But yes, if you say this isn't for me, I made a mistake, you try it and one time and say this is not for me, you can absolutely get your money back. We're not going to hold anybody hostage. I don't want anybody out there saying this didn't work and he took all my money. Nope. You absolutely get that money back. If all we did was this, how would this impact your family? Just remember that goal that we have in mind, that flag on that hill. What is your family's future worth? Is it worth $97 a month? What are you spending $97 a month on right now? So I encourage everybody out there, go to godlytrading.com/pro. You can sign up. Again, the price goes up next month. The fast action bonus for the trading algorithm goes away in 24 hours. If you have anybody who's interested in this that isn't here tonight, there's still time for them to watch this replay and get in on this particular discounted price. So spread the message far and wide. Also, I mentioned at the beginning, we got a free gift for you. We're going to be giving you access to the replay of this, giving you access to the slides. But also, I want to give you the first, I think it's 3, possibly 4 chapters of the book. The ones I think that are really going to impact you the most. So if you just go to godlytrading.com/gift, put in your email address, it'll automatically send you the link where you can download for everybody out there. I think that this will explain in a different way some of what we're talking about. So that's for everybody, just for the joy of being here. Last, it's time for the grand prize giveaway. Now, this was the book. Fantastic book. I bet the author once or twice. The multi-tool, the tumbler, the dad tumbler, and the nightstand desk. Grand prize giveaway. Time to let. I'm not even going to attempt to reshare over there. Just going to take my word for it here. Let StreamYard do its thing. Everyone has typed in family, and click. Okay, that button. Fine. Click and draw. And are y'all seeing? I hope. Okay, I'm not going to attempt it because last time I did, I went away. Let's see what happened and where it landed on. Harry, how do you pronounce that last name? Jocelyn? Probably so. Is the grand prize winner. Thank you very much for everybody for participating in that. I'm going to send an email out to all the winners. And you can go to the website and see, give me 30 minutes to update it. And you go to the website and you can see who all the winners were. If I don't hear from the winners, I'm going to give them 24 hours after sending the email to claim them. I'm going to draw again. And maybe if you're watching this and you didn't win, maybe you will if someone else doesn't claim their prize. So with that, guys, thank you all for being here. I'm going to put this up on the screen one last time, godlytrading.com/pro. I encourage everybody out there, give this a try. I've offered you a 100% money back guarantee. You can't lose money on this, but I truly believe that the financial future, that dream you have for your family starts with this. We get starting next week. So jump in today. With that, guys, thank you for all being here. I will see you all next time.